Hello friends, this problem is related to the concept of greatest integer function, and in this case you have been given an equation and you have to solve this equation for x. The equation is you have x cube minus greatest integer x and this is equals to 3. Then what is the value of x? Now if you remember, this symbol is used for greatest integer. So if I write something inside this symbol, for example, this is called greatest integer x. Now to solve this problem, you must know what is the plot of this function. So let us say I consider this as a by is equals to greatest integer x. Now this function is defined something like this. By will be 0 if x lies between 0 and 1. By will be 1 if x lies between 1 and 2. And it will be 2 if x is less than equal to greater than equal to 2 but less than 3. You see there is not an equality sign on the upper limit. Similarly on the negative side, if x lies between minus 1 and 0, then this value is minus 1. And if x lies between minus 2 and minus 1, this value is minus 2. Now using this, now I can plot this function. So let us plot this function. So this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. So this point is the origin and this is 0, 0 and this is 1 unit on the x side, this is 2 and this is 3, and similarly this is minus 1, this is 0, this is minus 2 and this is minus 3. Similarly this is 1, this is 2 and this is 3. Minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Now let us see. When x lies between 0 and 1, then this is 0. And remember, 1 is not included. So this graph, 0 is included, but 1 is not included. So something like this. You will have a graph something like this. And between 1 and 2, this point will be included, and this will not be included. Then something like this. Then again between 2 and 3, this point will be included, but this point will not be included. Here you will have this point and this point will not be included. Similarly, on the negative side, you can plot this will be included and this will not be included. This is included, this is not included. So this is the graph of greatest integer function, that is by is equals to greatest integer x. So on the x-axis we have x and on the y-axis I have greatest integer of x. Now let us consider the equation that is given to us. So this is the equation that is given, that is x cube minus greatest integer x, this is equals to 3. So I can write this as x cube minus 3, this is equals to greatest integer x. Now one way to solve equations is by plotting. So what I can do is, I can plot left hand side and I can plot right hand side, and then I can see where these equations are cutting. So basically this graph we have already plotted, that is by is equals to greatest integer x. Now the second thing we have to do is, I have to plot a graph for y is equals to x cube minus 3. So let us try to see what will be the points for this graph. So if I want to plot y is equals to x cube minus 3, I will consider different points. For example, let us consider x is equals to minus 1, then what will be the value of y? I will consider x is equals to 0, x is equals to 1, or you can consider some more points. For example, you can consider x is equals to 2. So when you consider x is equals to minus 1, y will be minus 1q minus 3, this is minus 4. This is minus 4. When y is equals to 0, so this is for x equals to minus 1. When y is equals to 0, this is minus 3. And when y is equals to 1, this is minus 2. And when y is equals to 2, this is 2q minus 3, that is 8 minus 3, that is equals to 5. You can also consider y is equals to 3. So let us consider y is equals to 3 also. So 3q minus 3, that is 27 minus 3, that is 24. So these are the value. When y equals to 0, this is x equals to 0, y is equals to minus 3. And when x equals to 1, y is equals to minus 2. And this is 5. And this is 24. Now we want to plot this on the same graph. So what I have done, I have already copied the y is equals to greatest integer x graph. So this graph we discussed earlier, and the same graph I copied it here. Now on this graph, let us plot the graph for y is equals to x cube minus 3. So x is equals to minus 1, then y is equals to minus 4. So when, or let us start with 0. When x equals to 0, y is equals to minus 3. So this point, you will have this one point. So x equals to 0, y is equals to minus 3. And x equals to 1, y is equals to minus 2. So this point. And when x equals to 3, y is equals to, when x equals to 2, y is equals to 5. So 2 belongs 5, that is much above. This point will be somewhere here. So, and then you will have minus 1, x equals to minus 1, y is equals to minus 4. So x is equals to minus 1, y is equals to minus 4. So this point, because this line is minus 4. Now let us try to see how this graph will go. This graph is going like this and very decreasing with a fast rate, and this is coming like this. So you can see this graph will cut y is equals to greatest integer x function at only one point, and this point will be this, because you see somewhere here is here, and then at x equals to 2, this is going too far. So this must has to cut in this interval, and that's why it is cutting here. So there is only one solution, and that solution will lie when x lies between 1 and 2. So there is only one solution in this case. Now the problem can easily be solved, because if I know that x lies between 1 and 2, what is greatest integer x? Greatest integer x for a number that lies between 1 and 2 is 1. So I can simply plug in my equation, that is greatest integer x is equals to 1. So this was the original equation, that is x square minus 3 is equals to greatest integer x. X square minus 3 is equals to greatest integer x, not x square, this is x cube. So now we will have x cube minus 3, because I know that the greatest integer x is 1. So x cube is equals to 4. This means x is equals to 4 raised to the power 1 by 3. So now you can see this is basically, you can consider this as 4 raised to the power 1 by 3 multiplied by 1 raised to the power 1 by 3. So there will be three solutions. The first solution will be 4 raised to the power 1 by 3, and another solution will be 4 omega, and the third solution will be 4 omega square. And in this case, omega is a complex number, so omega is minus 1 plus root 3i divided by 2, and omega square is equals to minus 1 minus root 3I divided by 2. So basically these two solutions, that is this one and this one, coming from a theory something called cube root of unity. Cube root of unity. I will discuss this topic in some separate video, that is the cube root of unity. So in this case we have one real solution, that is this one, x raised to the power 4 raised to the power 1 by 3, and two imaginary solution, that is omega and omega square, and you have to multiply this by 4. So these are the two solutions where omega and omega squares are given by this value. So I hope this video was useful for you, and if you like my videos, please share with your friends, subscribe to my channel and like this video on my channel. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.